Alrighty, welcome to Fargo South High School here, Brand Kwame Field. Getting ready for some soccer, spring soccer, girls soccer. Last time we tried to kick off the soccer season last year, we had about a 90-minute rain and lightning delay. Today, that's not going to be an issue. There are some darker clouds in the sky, but don't expect that to be any type of issue at all. Fargo South in the yellow jerseys, heading from right to left, and Fargo Davies in their white jerseys. Once again, this is junior varsity soccer action for you here on the ND Sports Channel. I want to thank the activities director, Mike Beaton, for allowing us to come down here and set up and broadcast on a beautiful sunny day in South Fargo. We were going to do Fargo North, Fargo South softball today, but their field's a little bit muddy yet, and the alternative was to play on the turf, but it would conflict with the soccer game, so it was like, well, we'll do the soccer game regardless, so. Currently sitting at, let's pull that up here. And we are in the first half and not the pregame, so we'll get that set up. 63 degrees here. That's pretty awesome. No, check that. That's for Castleton. Let's change it to Fargo here. But it's also 63 degrees here in Fargo, so. I'm Mike Mason with you here. Janice working the camera today. Certainly appreciate her efforts. Once again, Fargo South in the yellow jerseys, going from right to left, and Fargo Davies in the white jerseys, going from left to right. Ball is at center field here, and gotta get the correct Davies roster. It's Krista Anderson, number 18 for Fargo Davies. Fargo South will get the ball back, work it near sideline there onto the foot of Sophia Alvarez, a sophomore midfielder for the Bruins. And Davies will retake control of the ball, but it's the advancement forward is blocked off the knee on the far side there by one of the midfielders. Can't quite see on that far side of the field. I did bring the binoculars, so we'll try and get that worked out. Nice kick away there by Kalpanya Rai. Let me make sure that I'm on the JV and not the varsity. Yeah, I am on the JV. Okay, cool. Now inside the 18, that's the first shot on goal, and that one's going to be saved. It'll remain 0-0. I want to be booted away just inside of the 18 to the near sideline here. Picked up by Fargo Davies. Race for it. Collected right at midfield there. Let's see. Can't quite see who that is. It's a white number outlined in red. I don't like that. Coming up on the near sideline here for Davies is Jaden Van Riesen. Let's see here. I forgot to write it down. I did talk to one of the parents. Bersium will put it inside there. It's taken away by Fargo South. Bersium will get it right back. Centering pass right in front of the net. Booted away and out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick on the, a corner kick on the near corner here for Fargo Davies. First corner kick of the game. We'll have a few more soccer games for you here this spring. Not exactly sure how many, as a corner kick will be hit right back out of bounds. It may have been a handball, but it did not. If it hits any part of the arm, from the shoulder all the way down to the fingertips, that would be considered a handball, and it must have hit her on the side of her chest area, on the inside part of the arm, and they would just call that out of bounds. Here's an opportunity for Fargo Davies, and that's booted away. Right back up to the top of the 18. Can't quite see who's in there with the white numbers on the white jersey. They'll work it over to the far side now. Davies in a good opportunity here. And that's a shot on goal, and it'll be saved, and it'll be booted in, and that is going to be Van Parisium with the goal, and it's 1-0 Fargo Davies. Once again, 40-minute halves here. 35-12 and counting. Well, it's not counting at the moment. 35-8 and counting now. Still getting refreshed on how the clock stoppages work. It's only during an injury or a goal score. Be a throw in here for Fargo Davies. Oh, okay, I take that back. They're gold numbers on a white jersey, but from far away, they look like white numbers on a white jersey. Come in the direction there of Wilbershire. Fargo South will take it away, and they'll be taken right back there by the goal scorer as Van Parisium. Van Parisium will have it down the near sideline, right inside the yellow line, and it's taken away there by Molly Hansen. Hansen trying to work it out of there, but it goes right back to Davies. Work it inside of the 18. Fargo South will boot it out, and they'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a Fargo Davies throw-in from about 35 yards away from the goal. Once again, don't get confused by the numbers on the football field. Wherever the ball is at, if the ball's at the 20, it's 30 yards away. You add an additional 10 yards because the goal is at the back side of the end zone and not the front side, so that's an additional 10 yards. So. Throwing is chested down there by Fargo Davies, Wilbershire. And now over on the far side there, it's Taylor Brandenburg. Point gets popped up, and it's initially controlled by Fargo South, but the ball got away there from number 25, who I don't have on the Fargo South roster. It stops at number 22. Maybe I should have got two rosters. We had an issue right before game time where I had the wrong junior varsity roster for Fargo Davies, so I'm going off two lists instead of one here, so keep that in mind if there's any hesitation on identifying a player. Showed up here, and the track and field team was out running around and practicing the high jump and the javelin. Decent crowd on hand here for this junior varsity soccer game. Probably double up some with the varsity game to follow. We'll have both of the games for you here on the ND Sports Channel. Once again, it's 1-0 Fargo Davies off the goal by Jaden Van Pearson. .32:08 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Fargo Davies will collect the ball up over on the 40-yard line there, and they'll advance it over the midfield mark, and it's a race for it, but getting there first for Fargo South is going to be Kalpanya Rai, sophomore for the Bruins this year. And that ball will go out of bounds via Eagles throwing. 31-34 to go here in the first half of play. A 1-0 lead for Fargo Davies off the goal by Jaden Van Pearson. And there's another opportunity. That one looks good. Oh, it went a little bit wide right. So be out of bounds and a goal kick here for Fargo South. 31-25 and counting to go here in the first half of the junior varsity game. Bruin goalie will set it up. I'll have an official goalie on the JV roster. It is Nope. I even looked on the official roster. I don't have anyone listed as a goalie, so I'm not sure who the goalie is for Fargo South. I'll try and find that out here at the next opportunity. Ball go out of bounds. Will be another goal kick here for Fargo South. It's kind of a junior varsity soccer match that you're watching here on the Andy Sports Channel. The varsity one coming up. Fargo Davies will take the ball away off the goal kick there, and they'll work it down the near sideline. Will they get it before it goes out? No, they will not. It'll be a Fargo South throw-in. There's the toss, and Fargo Davies will take it right away. Picking it up there for Fargo Davies is Chris Anderson. Chris Anderson still on the ball. Works in the direction there. I believe that's Addison Mastel. There's two number 11, so it's either Addison Mastel or Janae Phillips, one of the two. There's two number 11s for Fargo Davies on the roster.
John's so damn loud. I can hear it laughing all the way there. So imagine being in class with her. I know, she's so loud.
And the toss will come in. Fargo Davies will control it, at least for the moment. Ball will escape and get onto the foot of Molly Hansen. Fargo South will try and work it out, but Fargo Davies gets it right back. Now they work it back in for the defenseman for the Bruins. Will pick it up over on the far side there. That is, I can't quite see the jersey number from this far away. Shot on goal, it's in from just inside the 18, and it's 2-0. Fargo Davies.
I didn't see it.
Get the binoculars out, see if we can find out the jersey number on the goal scorer there.
Let me go play the whole team for them. Nice, good shit.
I'll stop the clock with 28 minutes, 48 seconds to go here in the first half of play in the junior varsity game.
Name's JB Clock or something. Yeah, we lost in football too. Oh, that was 2019.
Davies will get it back, and then Fargo South takes it away, and Davies gets it right back. And back and forth it goes, and now Davies will finally control it and bring the ball up over midfield where it's poked away. And now advancing it up the near sideline there was the Bruin defenseman, number 24. Let's see here. It's probably Sasha Carrier, a junior.
Go! What is that?
There's an opportunity, probably the first opportunity of the game here for Karina Grothman. I believe that's Grothman. It's the only 25 I have on the roster. It's a varsity roster.
Anthony! Hi. Is that baby soccer in there?
Yeah, he cut off his head. Nigga got a milk dud. He got a fat ass head. You know, he claimed his ass. He's straight. He claimed his ass.
On the near sideline now, that is going to be, let's see here.
I think he's going to side.
Kavita Rai.
Oh, shit.
27-15 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Fargo South, Sasha Carrier will boot that one out of there. And Davies will get it right back. It's on the foot of Sydney Sterling. Work it over to the far side, looking for a centering pass here, and they'll work it in, but it'll be deflected. Right to the top of the 18. Another shot on goal is partially blocked by a Fargo South midfielder. Inside of the 18, the ball will roll around here on the near sideline. They'll work it down into the near corner, and the whistle will blow, and it'll be offsides on Fargo Davies. 26-37 and counting, and it's a 2-0 lead for Fargo Davies. I apologize there. We had to move our crowd mic. Not sure if it caught any swearing in the background, but if it did, we certainly apologize for that. Fargo South will get the ball over the midfield stripe, and they have another opportunity there. Moving in is Karina Grothman. On the far side, the ball will be scooped up by the Davies goalie. That's Ashley Wynn. Nice drop pass there that ends up on the foot of, let's see here, I got the pronunciation for this one. No, I do not. Davies will take it up the far sideline, and it's another opportunity here. It's going to be poked away by the defenseman, and it'll go out of bounds for a Fargo Davies corner kick over on the far side. Third broadcast here from Brant Kwame Field. First soccer broadcast of those three broadcasts here from Brant Kwame Field. We're here for the opening dedication on the very first inaugural Fargo South football game at home after they played the first half of the season up at the Fargo Dome. And then with about 2 or 3 home games, I think it was 2 home games left in the season, they were able to complete construction of the turf field here at Fargo South High School and had the ribbon cutting and everything. And we also had another game between Fargo South and West Fargo Cheyenne on this field. And now we have Fargo South and Fargo Davies girls soccer here. Broadcast number 3 from Brant Kwame Field. Of course, you can check our game schedule at www.ndsportschannel.com. Click on the menu button, and you can find out all the other game broadcasts that we'll have coming up for you. Matter of fact, now that I bring that up, I think I did not put this game on the schedule because we just added it today. Like I said, we were supposed to do Fargo North, Fargo South softball, but due to field conditions, that game was postponed to a date that is to be determined. Fargo Davies will bring it up the far sideline now. Centering pass, but nobody's there. And on one bouncer, we scooped up by the Bruins goalie, and that will stop the Davies attack for the moment. Ball will eventually go out of bounds, and it should be Davies throwing, I believe, but we have a substitution. Will indeed be a Davies throw-in. Fargo South will take it away on the far side of the field here. It's against 63 degrees under a partly cloudy sky. You might want to be a little bit optimistic and move it towards sunny, but I think partly cloudy is probably the better way to describe it. Make that 64, and they have changed it to sunny, so the guy doing the weather app is watching right now, and he took my suggestion. So sunny sky and 64 degrees here at Brant Kwame Field in South Fargo, home of the Fargo South Bruins. That ball will be scooped up there by the Fargo Davies goalie. That is Ashley Wynn. She's a freshman for Fargo Davies. Goal kick will come up just over the midfield mark, and it'll be controlled by Fargo Davies. Fargo South putting a little bit of pressure on, though. And doing a majority of the work here on the near side for Fargo South is Sophia Alvarez. Track team still practicing here, and just out of our camera view, which is probably perfect. So if you see some heads right in the background of the scoreboard there, then that's the track team practicing here. 21:09 in county to go here in the first half of play. 2-0 lead for Fargo Davies as they try and work the ball out of the Fargo South attack zone here on the left end of the field. Once again, Fargo South in the yellowish gold jerseys going from right to left. And Fargo Davies in the white jerseys going from left to right, as you see it on your screen there. A nice attempt there by, I believe that was Karina Grothman, number 25. And that ball will get booted out of bounds. That will be Fargo Davies throwing. Half of the first half is now completed. 2 goals for Fargo Davies so far. Don't forget the varsity girls game coming up at approximately 7 o'clock this evening. We will go offline to get things set up for that varsity game and then come back online here at the varsity broadcast. Picked up in the back there by Fargo South's Niha Tamang. That's picked up there by, something tells me that's not the correct one. I have a feeling there's a mix of varsity and junior varsity on the junior varsity team here. Calling a lot of Fargo South basketball. I'm pretty confident number 10 out there is Bryn Nelson and not the person that's listed. But we'll do the best we can. Fargo Davies now with another opportunity, and that's going to be a flag and or not a flag. I'm thinking football. It's around a football field here. It'll be a penalty and a free kick for Fargo Davies from approximately 26, 27. And looks like they're going to have it come back now. So it'll be closer to 33 yards out. We've seen goals scored in some of our soccer games here on the ND Sports Channel on free kicks from that 30 to 40 yard away distance. No attempt this time around. Sydney Sterling was initially on the free kick there. Now want to be booted towards the near sideline where it's picked up by checked out by Ashley Cotney. Now moving up the near sideline here for Davies is going to be Bailey Rorick. And Rorick will get around the defender and there will be a whistle, and let's see where the infraction was committed on which side of the yellow line. Just outside. So it'll be a free kick from approximately 16 yards out from the near sideline here. Taylor Safransky with the free kick. Boots it in, and that's going to be a handball inside the box, and Fargo South will get the ball back. Set it up for a goalie kick right around the penalty kick spot there. My mistake. Thought the goalie was going to take it, but it was actually Kalpanya Rai. It's check the phonetic spellings. I want to say thanks to the Fargo South coach who sent me those phonetic spellings. Certainly appreciate that. That being David Weiler. Davies leading 2-0. The first goal was scored by Jaden Pearson, Jaden Van Pearson. The second goal, we weren't able to get a jersey number on it. That one will roll all the way to the fence, and it will be a goal kick here, Fargo, or no, a corner kick, excuse me, for Fargo Davies. Be a short kick that comes into the near sideline here. Nice move and a workaround by Ava Olsen. Bring it back out top. It's deflected. Fargo South will take it away. Tried to send the through ball up there, but nice job there by, looking at the wrong roster here, by Karina Grothman to not go over the midfield mark to prevent from being offsides there. And the ball will be battled for right in the near sideline. Fargo South will pick it up for the moment, and then Fargo Davies hustling, but Fargo South not making it easy for Fargo Davies to advance that ball up the field, and now Fargo Davies may have opened up a opportunity here. That one's going to be deflected towards the near sideline. They will not get it before it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Fargo Davies throw-in. 14:51 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Making the toss here for Fargo Davies is going to be Ashley Cotney. Cotney with the throw-in right to a Bruin. Deflects off the front of her knees, and now a battle for the ball along the near sideline. And that battle is won by Fargo Davies. Once again, there's two number 11s, so I'm not sure if that's Mestel or Phillips. It's one of those two. Nice footwork there and a nice through ball, and that's an opportunity. She is onside. She'll collect it on the near sideline here. That's Sophia Alvarez, who had it on the near sideline, and now Fargo Davies will get it back. Deflected towards the near sideline and out of bounds, and a Fargo Davies throw-in. Ashley Cotney will make the throw-in for Fargo Davies, and Fargo South will take it away. So nice pass in. Now a race for the ball. Who can get there first? Looks like Fargo Davies will boot it out onto the near sideline there. Nice pressure by Fargo South that forces Fargo Davies to boot it out of bounds, and a nice throw-in position here for the Bruins. Once again, junior varsity soccer here. We got the varsity matchup coming up next on the ND Sports Channel. This game, as well as all the previous 433 games, are available for a 24/7 replay. The radio broadcast from earlier, there's a shot on goal. That'll go a little bit wide left. The radio broadcast from our first year or so of the lifetime of the station are on our website. Click on the menu bar and find Radio Rewind. And all those games are on there, and then the last 100 to 150 or so games that we've done on video are all available on the various playlists on our YouTube channel. And you can find that under Game Rewind. Just click on either Fargo South or Fargo Davies. That'll filter out all the other high schools in North Dakota that we've had games for, and you'll be able to find this game at the top of the list once the game comes to a conclusion. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. Certainly appreciate you taking some time to watch. And not a whole lot of games happening. I mean, the weather's awesome. Just don't have the field conditions to do all the games. On ND Sports Network West, the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks and the Beulah Miners playing in boys baseball. If that game interests you, just go under our menu bar at our website and find ND Sports East. Click on that and then click play on the video and watch the game. It's an option for you. Also, some Spuds TV, if you're a Moorhead Spuds fan. They'll have a lot of Moorhead Spuds. I know tonight around, it's either 7 or 7:30, they're having boys lacrosse. Yep, I said that, lacrosse. I watched a girls lacrosse matchup last night on Spuds TV. Great video quality, and as long as they don't forget to turn on the microphone, the audio is great too. That's kind of a joke. Spoke with Corey, who works at Spuds TV earlier this morning, and we were joking about that. He told me that he was having some audio problems, and I said, well, what kind of audio problems? And he's like, yeah, I forgot to turn on the mic. I'm like, oh, so that's easily fixed. I was like, don't worry about it. I've done that myself a few times. And as I say that, I look down at my equipment to make sure that my mic is on. 10.5 to go here in the first half of the junior varsity game. Once again, 2 40-minute halves with a 10-minute intermission between the two. At least I believe it's 10 for junior varsity. There are no penalty minutes like you would see in like World Cup soccer or professional soccer. It's just 40 minutes and 40 minutes, and then we're done. There's no extra time. Fargo South will pick up the loose ball, work it back and forth inside their own 18, inside their own goal box. And now they'll work it up the near sideline here onto the foot of, it's Rye. I don't know how to say the first name, but it's Rye, the last name. Davies will get the ball back. Working it inside there and then deflected right back there. It's Peyton Brandenburg, the freshman forward. The ball will come loose and scooped up by the Bruin goalie, and she'll get set to boot it away. Wave her teammates downfield, and that'll be a short boot that bounces right in front of the 30. Battle for it there, and it will not stay in. It'll be a Fargo South throw-in going to the left direction here at Brant Kwame Field. That brings us down to just under 9, or just over 9 minutes. 9:15 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Once again, we're at 5:30. We're at 64 degrees and sunny skies here in South Fargo. Looking at 62 to 60 probably by the start of the varsity game, and throughout the varsity game, we'll probably be in the mid to upper 50s. Sunset tonight set for 8:15. And there are lights here at Brant Kwame Field, so if sunset becomes an issue, those lights will come on, and it'll be a I remember it'd be a nice night to play soccer here. I remember when we came here for the first football game, I was talking with athletic director Mike Beaton, and I was like, man, I wish I was in high school playing sports, because I'd love to play a game on this field. We both chuckled at that one. Fargo South will try and work it up. They trail 2-0, and Fargo Davies with the lead gets the ball back just for the moment. Chasing it down near sideline. It was not able to keep it in, and as a result, there'll be a Fargo South throw-in. It may, oh no, the referee's saying it's a Fargo Davies throw-in. It looked like it went off the foot there of Taylor Brandenburg, but referee, official on the near sideline. That one, ooh, it got deflected and went a little bit wide right, just barely wide right. A lucky break there for Fargo South, as that could have been 3-0 for Fargo Davies. Now be booted up to the near sideline. I don't think anybody's going to get there in time. I was mistaken. Fargo South will maintain possession of the ball and advance it up over midfield. They tried a centering pass there, but her teammate got a little bit in front of the defender there, and that allows Fargo Davies to bring it back. And now the ball will be booted, and yeah, that's probably a smart move there by Fargo South's goalie to come out and try and boot that one away. Fargo Davies will get it right back. They'll cross the ball over and flip the field. And the pass inside there, temporarily deflected by Fargo South. And Davies will pick it up over on the far corner of the goal box. Chasing it down there and keeping it in before it goes out of bounds was Morgan Savageau. And now the ball will go out of bounds, and that should be a Fargo South throw-in, and that is indeed the case. A little over 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Both of those goals for Fargo Davies came early in the first half of play. Some of the varsity players have now showed up. They're sitting in the stands watching this one. I would suspect that they might get to see a little bit of the first half of the second half, if that made sense. And then they'll probably have to be called upon by their coach to come get ready for the varsity game. Once again, that game will start at about 7 o'clock tonight. Fargo South will bring it up over the midfield stripe, and Fargo Davies will take it away. Battle for the ball now. Once again, Fargo Davies in the white jerseys, Fargo South in the yellowish gold jerseys. Battle for the ball on the near sideline now, picked up by Peyton Brandenburg, number 21 there for Fargo Davies. She'll work the ball back inside there for Grace Harmson, excuse me. Ball's poked away. It's picked up there by Fargo South's Benita Mangar. Bonita. There we go, yes, I got it right. I looked at the phonetic spelling and I got it right. I deserve a cookie for that one. That ball will find its way out of bounds. Both players went for the ball, so no penalty on that play, but at least to the best of my knowledge anyway. Yes, it will indeed be a throw-in for Fargo Davies. Once again, junior varsity soccer here with 4:24 to go in the first half of play. Second half will be approximately a 10-minute break between halves before we start things up here. I want to thank our sponsors, including Quality Home Restorations, Game Time, the Fargo South Booster Club, as well as the North Fargo Softball Club, for their contributions to make these game broadcasts possible. Certainly appreciate that. And if you'd like to donate, well, you got a donate button right on the homepage of our website. There's no minimum donation. You can donate anything you want. The only thing that we encourage you to keep in mind is to make sure you use a decimal point so that $1 isn't accidentally mistaken for $100. Fargo Davies will keep the ball inside of the goal box here. That was Brandenburg, if I remember correctly. Yup. See, I'm starting to memorize him now. It took about all of the first half, just 3.5 minutes remaining now. A nice move there by Fargo South to keep it in. Now, if I say Fargo South, it's because I'm not 100% sure if the jersey number is from the JV or the varsity. So, in order to not get the names wrong, we'll do the best we can to make sure that we get the names that we do announce correct. The ball find its way out of bounds and be a throw-in here for Fargo Davies. Well, it's a good thing the bench was there, otherwise we might have another 30-second delay there, as they would have chased the ball all the way down to the fence here, right in front of us here. Where cameras set up just to the left of midfield, and where I'm standing is pretty much right on the 50-yard line. Couldn't ask for a better spot to broadcast the soccer game from here on a fantastic and beautiful field at Brant Kwame Field here at Fargo South High School. As the ball will go out of bounds, a Fargo Davies throw-in is on the horizon here. We have a whistle. The clock will continue to roll here. 2:13, 2:12, 2:11 and counting. Be a Fargo Davies throw-in. And the whistle is for a Fargo South substitution. That's what it was. So, and that throw-in will be chested down there by Fargo South. And it'll be kept in bounds. Go onto the foot there, Karina Grothman. And Grothman tried to get it to who I believe is Bryn Nelson. I'm like 99.9% sure that's Bryn Nelson, even though the junior varsity roster has somebody else in that jersey number. Called enough basketball games to recognize a few of these players. Maybe if the assistant softball coach is watching, she has my number. She can send me a text and say, "No, Mike, you're wrong. Get it right." Ball goes over the out-of-bounds line here, throwing for Fargo South with 1:05 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Coming up at halftime, we'll thank a few of our sponsors, tell you a little bit about the station, and get things set up for half number 2 here. Once again, 2-0 lead for Fargo Davies in the junior varsity game. Throw in from the far side for the Eagles. And they'll stay on that far sideline. As the airplane comes over, it's a little bit warm in here. And you know, yesterday I was wearing a coat. Today I'm wearing a polo shirt and I'm too hot. So that's North Dakota for you. And that horn will sound the end of the first half. It's 2-0 Fargo Davies after one half of soccer. Once again, it's the junior varsity game. We'll take a break, come back, and have a halftime show for you here next on the ND Sports Channel.
The game is close. It's a big rivalry. Students jump out of their seats while the cheerleaders lead the chanting. Everyone is on edge. The shot is up and the buzzer sounds. All eyes follow the ball. Will it fall through the net? You can hear the hush of the crowd. With your whistle, you watch if his feet were inside the line or not. The crowd erupts. It's a game winner. Or is it? You make the call. Become an official. Contact your local high school. A message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association.
NorthDakotaScores.net is your top source for statewide scores for both boys and girls high school sporting events in the state of North Dakota. Football, soccer, basketball, hockey, wrestling, baseball, volleyball, softball. Get all the scores every game, every night, every single sports season of the school year. You can count on NorthDakotaScores.net year after year to provide over 99% of the results for high school sporting events in North Dakota, all reported from trusted and reliable sources. Follow North Dakota Scores on Twitter, search @NDScores, and get the same scores on your mobile device every night.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In our first year and 4 months on the air, the ND Sports Channel brought you a total of 407 games, and 377 of those games were exclusive broadcasts of the ND Sports Channel. That's 377 games that would have had zero broadcast coverage if not for the sponsors who support our sports webcast. We ask that you please patronize and support the sponsors you hear about in this sports broadcast on the ND Sports Channel. Join us and put your business products and services in front of an average of 234 viewers per game. Let's team up.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in North Dakota so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in North Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Watch all the games on the ND Sports Channel on your home television screen. If your smart TV, Blu-ray, Xbox, PlayStation, 4K, or DVD player has access to the YouTube app, you can watch the ND Sports Channel on your big screen TV right at home, both live games and replays. Simply click on the YouTube app on your smart TV, and with the remote, move over to the search button, type in or highlight ND Sports Channel, and then select the live feed. Or you can browse the game library and watch a previous game on demand anytime you would like. We invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/ND Sports Channel. You can also watch live games and replays of games on your mobile device using the YouTube app, which can be downloaded from your mobile device's app store if it's not already on your device. Thanks for watching the ND Sports Channel. It's ND Sports Online.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators.
Quality Home Restorations is Fargo Moorhead's go-to place for quality home remodel and repair services. Quality Home Restorations offers free estimates on all your home remodel and repair projects like drywall, laminate flooring, roofing, and much more. Check out the great photos of past projects completed by Quality Home Restorations on their Facebook page. Just search Quality Home Restorations. When it comes to your home being restored, count on Quality Home Restorations. Call Mike today at 400-1751. That's 400-1751 to set up an appointment for a free estimate. Quality Home Restorations in Fargo.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
The Fargo North softball team is live for a second season on the ND Sports Channel. Live broadcast of every game, home and away, including every swing of the bat, every stolen base, every strikeout, and every home run for the Fargo North Spartans will be live on the ND Sports Channel. Video broadcasts of most regular season games, as well as radio broadcasts of the regional and state tournament. Get the most accurate and up-to-date Spartan softball broadcast schedule on our website at ndsportschannel.com/game schedule. ND Softball All-Stars has a new look on a new website that gives you easy access to what you want to know about upcoming activities, All-Star game records, college commitments, and easy access to every episode of the ND Softball All-Stars podcast. Visit the new website at ndsballstars.com. Every year, the top seniors in the state get one more chance to play the game they love. Please consider a donation to help support this great program. Send your gift to ND Softball All-Stars, P.O. Box 6544, Fargo, North Dakota, 58109.
All right, welcome back. Halftime here at Brand Kwame Field at Fargo South High School, about 2 minutes away from the start of the second half of play. And the first goal was scored by, let's see here, let me grab my sheet really quick. Jaden Van Pearson, and then that made it 1-0. That was about with 35 minutes left in the first half. And then the second goal was scored by a jersey number we weren't able to identify, and that brings us to our score of 2-0 in favor of Fargo Davies. Fargo South has had about 4 or 5 decent or good opportunities, but outside of that, Fargo Davies is pretty much taking care of business with some pretty nice defense here and a pretty nice ball movement keeping the ball, for the most part, out of the side of the field where the Fargo Davies net is on. In the second half of play, Fargo Davies will be going from right to left, and Fargo South will flip-flop and go from left to right. Fargo South will be in their yellowish gold jerseys. Fargo Davies will be in their white jerseys. Once again, it's a junior varsity game, and it's a 2-0 lead here at halftime for Fargo Davies. The second half coming up after this on the ND Sports Channel.
NorthDakotaScores.net is your top source for statewide scores for both boys and girls high school sporting events in the state of North Dakota. Football, soccer, basketball, hockey, wrestling, baseball, volleyball, softball. Get all the scores every game, every night, every single sports season of the school year. You can count on NorthDakotaScores.net year after year to provide over 99% of the results for high school sporting events in North Dakota, all reported from trusted and reliable sources. Follow North Dakota Scores on Twitter, search @ND Scores, and get the same scores on your mobile device every night.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
All right, welcome back as we get ready to start the second half of play here between Fargo Davies and Fargo South in the junior varsity game. The Davies Eagles lead over the South Bruins by a score of 2-0. Some softball scores coming in from the west side of the state, because majority the east side of the state games, with the exception of the Central Cass Hankinson game, are postponed due to field conditions. But we do have one final in from Minot, and they took care of Watford City pretty easily. 23-0 was the final. That's game one of a doubleheader, so game two is on the horizon here for those two squads. Let's take a look at a couple of the other scores that have come in. And let's see here. I know I had them, and now they're not showing up here anymore. I apologize for that. I could have swore I had that information right in front of me, but I guess I was wrong. So the one that I know for sure is that 23-0 score, Minot High over Watford City. Fargo Davies in the white jerseys, they'll get the ball to start the second half, going from right to left. Fargo South will defend the left side of the field, going from left to right. Once again, 40-minute halves. Fargo Davies scored 2 within the first 10 minutes of that first half, and then it was scoreless ever since then. We'll see if Fargo South can make some adjustments coming out of the halftime break here, as we're underway in the second half of play. Sunny and 64 degrees, a south-southwest wind at 6 miles per hour here at Brant Kwame Field as the ball will go out of bounds. It'll be a Fargo South throw-in. I almost said Fargo Davies because I'm used to Fargo Davies going that direction, but it'll be a Fargo South throw-in. Making the toss there for Fargo South is Parker Seelig. And the ball will go down into the far corner. And it'll be a throw-in for Fargo Davies. Seelig will boot it back in. Fargo Davies will get the ball deep down in their own end. Still trying to work the ball up the near sideline here. Nice move there by Fargo Davies, but picking it up there for Fargo South was Zoe Grossnickel, if I'm saying that correctly. And now Fargo South will advance it all the way up the field here. Battle for it over on the far side. Looks like Davies has it, at least initially. And that one will be booted out of bounds for goal kick. So it'll be a Fargo South goal kick here as the Bruins trail 2-0 to the Eagles. 38-17 and counting to go here in the second half of play. And the scoreboard in the background there, it says quarter 1. They need to switch that to quarter 2. Of course, we got the correct half of play. On your screen there at the bottom. We just don't have a clock because if you're watched any of our hockey or basketball broadcasts, I figured out that the clock was pretty much impossible to keep in sync with the one inside the gym, so we gave up on that. Give you audio cues of how much time is left here. That much we can promise you. As the ball will be tapped out of bounds, it'll be Fargo Davies throwing. Tossing it in for the Eagles there will be Jaden Van Pearson. Pearson scored the goal in the first goal of this game. And now Fargo South will move it up the field. And Fargo Davies will get there first. It was a great opportunity. She just needed a little bit more speed to catch up to that ball, and maybe she could have gotten in front of that defender and had an opportunity for a shot on goal, but instead it'll be ricocheted out of bounds here into the tarp that's covering the sand area of the long jump / triple jump area. I believe that's the triple jump, if I'm not mistaken. So Fargo South will control the toss in there, controlling it for Fargo South. Initially it was, let me see if I can get that right. Sungum Rai, there we go, number 4. Sungum Rise, that one will go out of bounds. Chasing it down there for the throw-in for Fargo Davies is Jaden Van Pearson. And Van Pearson will toss it in. Check that. Oh, that was 18, not number 10. That was my bad. That was Chris Anderson. Over on the far side there, that is Peyton Brandenburg. And Brandenburg will work around to the defender, and then it's booted out on the far side there. Couldn't quite catch the jersey number on that Fargo South player on the far side, but the ball will eventually go out of bounds into the Davies Eagles bench, and that will be a throw-in for Fargo South. And making the toss for the Bruins will be the junior, Sasha Carrier. And there's your goal scorer there, Van Pearson. And Van Pearson might have an opportunity here. Well, it was taken away. And it'll go out of bounds. So it'll remain Fargo Davies soccer ball. Making the toss will be Chris Anderson for the Eagles on the throw-in from the right side of your camera. There we go. Now she's on camera. And that comes right back, and basically we'll just have to do it over again from the same spot. Anderson is a sophomore. Throw-in that was initially controlled by Fargo South was taken back by Fargo Davies, and now they'll try and work it over to the far side. But Fargo South has an opportunity to advance it up the field. Moving with it there is either Mastel or Phillips, one of the number 11s for Fargo South. And there's your goal scorer from the first half. She accounts for one of the 2 Fargo Davies goals. That's Van Pearson. Ball gets booted away there right at the top of the 18. Fargo Davies collected about 40 yards out. Taking a tumble there for Fargo South was Poonam Gali. Now looking for the centering pass, and a shot on goal is going to be swallowed up by the Fargo South goalie. 33 minutes, 40 seconds remaining and counting here in the second half of play. A nice save there by the Bruins goalie. She'll set up to boot it away here. Yeah, that's a high boot. That'll land just shy of midfield. And Fargo Davies will collect it. They'll advance it up, but it'll be picked up by the Fargo South defenseman. And moved up there onto the foot of Sungum Rai. that was a little bit of a misfire there by that Davies Eagles defender, but Eagles able to recover from the blunder. The ball is bounced back and forth between the two teams, just over the midfield mark, between the 240s. Once again, where the ball is at, add 10 yards to that, and that's how far away from the goal they are. So at the 40-yard line, you're 50 yards away, 50-yard line, you're 60 yards away, and etc. That's a nice through ball, and here's an opportunity for Fargo Davies if she can get around there. I believe, for Fargo Davies, I believe that was one of the number 11s. And another shot on goal. That'll be scooped up there by the Bruins goalie. And just under 32 minutes to go here in the second half. Once again, 40-minute halves here in high school soccer. The junior varsity game now. The varsity game coming up here at approximately 7 o'clock, which is just over an hour away. Softball final, Velva defeats West Hope Newburgh-Bottineau by the final score of 18-3 in 5 innings. In that game, Emma Passa with 3 home runs, including a grand slam, a 2-run homer, and a 3-run homer. All she needed was a solo to get the home run cycle. How about that one for Emma Passa for Velva? Keep you updated on any other scores that may come through. Of course, you can always check our Twitter feed too, as that'll have a bunch of scores for you, including the ones that I just mentioned. ADC girls tennis score, Grand Forks Central 6, West Fargo Packers 3. That one, oh, that was actually from yesterday. I apologize there. I was not paying attention to the timestamps there of the emails. In the bottom of the 5th, Bismarck Century leads Williston 7-3. Nobody out in the bottom of the 5th of that one. Girls lacrosse final, Sartell SRR. I'm not sure what SRR stands for. It's a Minnesota team. They defeat the Moorhead Spuds 18-2 in the girls' second ever lacrosse game in Moorhead program sports history. They played their first one last night against St. Cloud Tech. Can't remember the final score on that one, but I know that they lost, and it was a lopsided score in favor of St. Cloud Tech, but the ball will go out of bounds. I believe we have a corner kick. No, throw in for Fargo Davies, excuse me. In the top of the 4th, Mayport CG Hatton Northwood leads Grafton 7-2. That's a softball score for you. And we'll keep you updated on those on more scores as they happen to come in. Once again, it's a 2-0 lead here for Fargo Davies. Both of the goals scored in the first half of play. We're a little over, just shy of 12 minutes into the second half with 28:40 and counting to go here in half number 2 of the junior varsity game. The varsity game will come up next. 64, sunny skies, south-southwest wind at 6. I don't know, I'd say that you could probably take away sunny and put mostly cloudy in now. Sun's still peeking through the small holes that the clouds will allow. And if you're a basketball fan, you can go to our Twitter page and see Macaulay Young of the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks dunk a ball over a car. Yes, I'm not joking about that. He dunked one over a car in a benefit at Bismarck Legacy High School, as that one scooped up by the Bruins goalie. Nice opportunity there for Fargo Davies. Once again, they had a basketball benefit at Bismarck Legacy High School in Bismarck for the Bismarck St. Mary's coach who's battling cancer. So they put on a little 3-point contest / slam dunk contest / a few other things. We have some looks like we might have, we have an injury on the field. That's what it is. Okay. I didn't see the player fall down as the trainer's out there. I want to say that is Bonita Monger, I believe, who is laying down there for Fargo South. We'll take a timeout and be back in 30 or maybe 60, depending on how long the injury thing takes here, and be right back on the ND Sports Channel.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
All right, welcome back. It'll be a goal kick here for Fargo South. Now it'll be booted up, and it'll drop right around the 40, about 50 yards away from the goal and right at midfield. It's picked up by Fargo Davies, and the pass intended there for the goal scorer, Van Pearson, will go out of bounds, and it was last tipped by Fargo South, so it'll be a Fargo Davies throw-in. Once again, we're looking at about 26:50 to go here in the second half of play. So the ball will go out of bounds. Fargo South throw in here from the near sideline right at the midfield stripe. Once again, I'm not sure how much of that story I got to share with you prior to that injury timeout, but they at Bismarck Legacy High School, they held a basketball benefit for the Bismarck St. Mary's coach, who's fighting a battle with cancer right now. So they had like a 3-point contest, a slam dunk contest, and I'm not joking, folks. But Macaulay Young of the Skyhawks from Shiloh Christian in Bismarck dunked over a car. And it's on our Twitter. If you don't believe me, you can go there and watch it. It's like a 7-8 second video clip of Macaulay Young dunking over a car. It was a pretty impressive feat, if I may say so myself. I had to watch it twice. I'll put it that way. We'll leave it at that. So go check that one out. It's on our Twitter. You can follow. Matter of fact, we're 20 followers shy of 1,000. If you could help us reach that 1,000 mark, that'd be absolutely awesome. Appreciate that. We try and give scores for all the sports, even the ones that we don't do broadcasting of currently, or we don't get a chance to broadcast often, including soccer and tennis and swimming and track and field results. Not all of it, but we try and get as much of it as we can on our Twitter page. At ND Sports CH1. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd certainly appreciate that. We'd love to get to about 1,000 subscribers, open up a few new features on our broadcast here, and that'd be awesome. Right now we're in the mid-500s. I think right in that 555, 565 area last time I checked. I can't recall the exact number, but certainly appreciate everybody who has subscribed to our channel here. Spring sports season is supposed to be a majority softball, was the intent. not that we have anything against soccer or any other spring sports, but just hasn't worked out to play softball. And so the games that we were supposed to do today get postponed, and that allows us opportunity to get to some of these other games. An acquaintance of mine joked with me saying that his choices were soccer or lacrosse. I was like, hey, those are both good sports. If you're asking my humble opinion, which one I'd rather watch, nothing against lacrosse. I enjoy soccer a little bit more, mainly because I don't understand how lacrosse works. And if we broadcasted a lacrosse game here on the ND Sports Channel, I would be absolutely clueless on what's happening. But I did watch a lacrosse game yesterday on Spuds TV. It was the first ever girls lacrosse game in Moorhead high school program history. They would lose that one to St. Cloud State. But I learned a little bit of how the game works and a couple of the terminology. So if North Dakota ever gets some lacrosse teams, maybe we'll do some lacrosse here on the ND Sports Channel. You never know. So some of our goals in the near future, some of the sports that people have asked us to broadcast, including track meets and tennis, swim meets, and we've talked about it in meetings. We've gone to the swimming center in West Fargo, talked with the facility manager there, see if it was possible, and it is possible. Now the only thing we need to concern ourselves with is dealing with humidity issues inside of the swimming area, and we are working on that. I can't give you an exact date on when we'll bring you the first swim meet or the first tennis match or the first track and field event, but what I can say is that is something we would like to add in the near future. Just like last year, about a year ago, we were a little over a year ago, we were talking about adding soccer to our lineup here, and well, look at this. We got soccer on now. 2-0 Fargo Davies at 21:53 and counting to go here in the second half of play. Fargo Davies in their white jerseys going from left to right. Fargo South in their yellowish gold jerseys going from, did I say left to right for Fargo Davies? I meant to say the other direction, right to left, and Fargo South going from left to right. As that ball go out of bounds, it'll be a Bruin throw in from the far sideline, just to the left of the midfield stripe, midfield flag. And that throw in is controlled by Fargo Davies. Once again, if you can help support some of those causes that we're trying to get started with here, clicking on the donate button on our website, right on the home page, just type in ndsportschannel.com. You'll see it right on the home page there, green donate button. There's no minimum amount. Just use the decimal point so that we don't mistake $10 for $1,000. You can, no minimum, no maximum, unless there's like a maximum on your credit card for a daily spending limit. Then I suppose there would be a maximum in that scenario. But it's a dangerous play there for Fargo Davies, but they're able to get it out from in front of their own goal and work it over to the far sideline there. Fargo South will take it away. It was a nice defensive move there by the Bruins. Now the battle, now it'll be mostly Davies' ball here. Fargo South being more of a nuisance and Fargo Davies keeping possession throughout all the nuisance defense plays from the Bruins. And now there's an opportunity, but she was offside. As the flag goes up, you can see it in the far right hand of your screen there. That will be offside. So I'll give the ball back to Fargo Davies, set up for a free kick. Jaden Van Pearsum. She's a senior midfielder on the junior varsity team. And she scored the first goal for Fargo Davies. The second goal was scored by, we're not sure. We couldn't catch the jersey number on it. And that may have gotten away with a handball there for Fargo Davies. I believe that's Ava Olsen. And now here's an opportunity, one-on-one, shot on goal, and it's a nice block there. And another nice save. And it remains 2-0 when, in all honesty, it should have been 3-0 had it not been for the fantastic goalie work there for the Fargo South Bruins. 19 minutes and counting to go here in the second half. It says quarter 1 on the scoreboard there. It should say quarter 2, but it is the second half. Work the ball up over on the far sideline. And they will go out of bounds. I believe that's a Fargo South throw-in. No, it'll be a Fargo Davies throw-in. Sun's going back behind the clouds. The breeze is coming in here, and as a result, it's cooling down a little bit here at Brant Kwame Field in South Fargo. Currently at 62 under a partly cloudy sky, officially according to the forecast. Stay in the low 60s here for the remainder of this game, and we'll drop down into the high 50s by the end of the varsity game. Maybe the mid 50s, but high 50s for sure. It's a lot better than the game we were intending to do about a week ago here when it was about 28 degrees. It was supposed to be Fargo South and West Fargo Cheyenne, but that game got postponed to a date as of, it was still to be determined as of the last time I checked the schedule, which was earlier today. I'm not sure if they've updated that since about 2 o'clock this afternoon, but if they have, I haven't seen it yet. So to the best of my knowledge, it's still to be determined. Any of these soccer games that we can get in around our softball schedule, we'll certainly be here to get them on the air for you. So make sure you tell your friends and maybe some uncles or nieces, or not nieces, uncles or aunts that maybe live out of state. Just tell them to go to ndsportschannel.com, and they can watch this game again at their convenience if they can't catch the game live. All these games are available within about 5-10 minutes after the wrap-up of the broadcast on both our website and our YouTube channel. That's one thing that used to be 24 hours that we'd always say, but now it has certainly gotten much, much better. Davies goalie will come out, boot that one out of bounds. I believe that will be a Fargo South throw-in, and it will. So just to the right side of the midfield flag. Bruins will make the toss. One touch, and the ball goes right back to Fargo Davies, and now we have a whistle. So one of the Bruins will take a moment to tie their shoe. We'll have a free kick coming up here for Fargo Davies. We're on Facebook too, facebook.com/ND Sports Channel. We'd love it if you were to give our page a like. Pretty much everything that's on Twitter ends up on our Facebook page. It's not an automatic link. Maybe 1 or 2 items that don't make it to the Facebook page, but for the most part, we try and put everything on all of our platforms so that everybody can have an opportunity to see what's happening here. Another thing we started too was game highlights. We started that for the first time here just a couple of games ago. So this game, along with the varsity game, will have highlights on our YouTube channel on our website, because we know that you don't always have time to watch the entire game. So we'll take out the highlights, all the goals, and anything else cool that happens during the game, and just give you a game summary, pretty much, a game recap. Some of the softball games that we've done have been averaging right around 7 minutes, which isn't too bad for approximately a 2-hour game. Now go down the far goal line there and be picked up by the Eagles goalie. Once again, 2-0 lead for Fargo Davies. Both those goals scored within the first 10 minutes of the first half. Since then, no scoring from either team. Junior varsity action will wrap up here in about 13 minutes. Then we'll take a break and we'll go offline for a few minutes and come back with the varsity game, which is set to kick off. First touch, first kick, whatever you want to call it, set for about 7 p.m. Once again, this game and all of our games, under the Games button on the menu bar, just click on Game Rewind, and you can also check out the game schedule. You can also go to Final Scores, and on the Final Scores page is where you can get the link, get the direct link to the highlights that are on our YouTube channel. Each team has their own playlist on our YouTube channel. So we've provided coverage for about 80 teams. So that means there's 80 playlists on our YouTube channel. So if you go to our website, click on the menu bar under Games, click on Game Rewind, and then on that screen, you'll see a list of all the teams. The NDHSAA teams on the far left, our youth and summer teams in the middle, and then our out-of-state teams that we provide coverage for. On most scenarios, they've come to North Dakota to play a game. And on the far right side, so you just click on the team of your choice, and it'll filter out all the other teams and give you only the games that feature that team to make it a lot easier to find the game you're looking for than it was just about 4 or 5 months ago. Once again, 2-0, just under 12 minutes to go here in the second half of play. Fargo Davies with the lead. And a nice move there and an opportunity here, but it is 1-on-3. A couple teammates trailing. And she made a nice move, and oh, she nearly took it away, and then she did. And it's a shot on goal, but that one will be easily swallowed up there by the Bruin goalie with 11:35 to go and counting. Now be booted away. You can see the, well, I guess you can't see in the camera, but that's okay. I can tell you this much. In the far corner there's the Fargo Davies varsity team warming up. Throw in down here on the far sideline for Fargo Davies. Comes about 40 yards away from the goal. Throwing is controlled by the Eagles. Bruins will try and work it back up there, and for the moment, they'll maintain possession of the ball, and as soon as I say that, Davies gets it right back. So advance it, and she was onside there, and that's an opportunity. It's going to be a one-on-one opportunity here. It's 2-0 Fargo Davies, and now the defender steps in, and that causes the ball to get around the feet there, or out of the path of the feet, and what a magnificent opportunity, and what a magnificent break for Fargo South. Usually those one-on-one situations go in favor of the shooter. And Fargo South with a nice defensive play at the very end. That one, my friends, will go on the highlight reel. Comes with 9, or just came a little bit over the 10-minute mark. Now we're down to about 9:52 and counting. Fargo South in a little bit of trouble here. It's deflected, and now the Bruins will have an opportunity to get it out of there, but Fargo Davies will take it right back. Had a player on the outside. That was Van Pearson. And now we have a whistle and a free kick coming up here for Fargo South, I believe. No, check that, Fargo Davies. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. It's tied up between Bismarck Century and Williston at 8-8. That's a boys baseball score for you. Free kick is immediately touched by Fargo South. They'll try and work the ball out of there. Now Van Pearson will pick it up on the near sideline, try and get around the defender, but it's deflected out of bounds. It'll be a Fargo Davies throw-in. Throw-in is touched by Fargo South, and for the moment controlled by the Bruins as well. And that one will go out of bounds, and now Davies will have the throw-in. Once again, both goals scored in the first half of this game. Thanks to the first 500 of our 560 plus subscribers, we were able to unlock the DVR feature. So if you missed those goals, you can go back to within the first 10 minutes of the first half, watch them, and then once you see them, you can click live, and it'll bring you right back to where we are at that point in the game. It's a really cool feature. You can also pull us up on your home TVs if your TV or Xbox, DVD player, Blu-ray player, 4K player, etc. PlayStation, if it has the YouTube app on it, you can pull these games on that YouTube app and make them full screen on your 60, 70, 50-inch TV at home. Makes for a real nice view. I've been known to watch many of these games after we get home and watch them again. That pass there is intercepted by Savageau. Savageau to Van Pearson. And that's taken away by Fargo South, but immediately put back onto the foot of Savageau. Savageau trying to work it around a few defenders there, and that one will be booted out by a Bruin defenseman. Picked up there by Fargo South's Molly Hansen. Hansen, I believe that's still Hansen with it, and it is, and she brings it up a nice chunk of the field before Fargo Davies will take it away. Now the through ball is intercepted, at least batted down there by Fargo South. They'll try and control it, but it'll end up on the foot of Brandenburg, I believe that is. Yep, Brandenburg. 5th, 6th grade volleyball score for you. Garrison leads Wilton Wing. Oh wait, I'm checking. They lost to. Let's see. I have to figure out that score. Okay, so it's a double score for both the 5th grader and the 6th grade team, and they put them all into one bracket. So I'll try and sort that out for you. But I can tell you this much: Garrison lost to Wilton Wing in both the 5th and the 6th grade. In the 5th grade game, it was a 2-0 set win for Wilton Wing, 25-20 and 25-19. In the 6th grade game, it was a 2-0 set win for Wilton Wing by the scores of 25-17 and 26-24. If you have scores, you can send them in to us, 701-404-9072. Brandenburg with a shot on goal, and now Van Pearson runs, tried to get a foot on the ball there. It's saved by the Fargo South goalie. I think she's okay. I wasn't 100% sure at first, but she rolled around, and now she looks like she's going to be okay. Making an adjustment on the back of her shin guard there, or the sock that covers the back strap of the shin guard, probably is the more accurate description there. She'll set up to boot it away, trying to buy some time to give her teammate an opportunity to finish tying her shoe, and that one will drop, and it'll be controlled by Davies. We're on the far side there. It's Grace Hedal, a freshman defenseman. I think, that can't be correct. Yeah, it is. Okay. Trying to chase it down there was Brandenburg, but unsuccessful, and with just over 4 minutes to go. Be another goal kick here for Fargo South. Once again, don't forget the varsity game coming up next, set for a 7 p.m. first kick. Certainly appreciate you tuning in to the game broadcast. Don't forget to be available for a 24/7 replay within about 10 to 15 minutes after the conclusion of our broadcast. The crowd has filled in nicely here for the upcoming varsity game. 3:27 and counting to go here in the JV game. 2-0 presently in favor of Fargo Davies.
Yeah, he's in there.
Throw in for Fargo Davies, a little over 3 minutes to go. Trying to work the ball in the far corner there. They'll pop it out, shot on goal is up over the top of the goal and out of bounds.
We lost our son.
Yeah, I'm hoping the temperature doesn't follow.
2:37 and counting to go here as the Bruin goalie will set it up for the kick from the near side of the penalty box or the goal box.
Sit John.
Nice long kick to clear it out of the zone there. Davies' goalie will come up and touch up on it. And it's taken away by Fargo South. A good opportunity here, but a nice defensive play by Fargo Davies. That'll be booted back in by Fargo South. Nobody there except for Fargo Davies. That is Mackenzie Rivard. I think we just had another softball score come in. Let's go ahead and check that. West Fargo defeats Devils Lake 9-0. Appreciate that score being sent in to us there by one of our viewers. Thank you very much. 9-0. West Fargo Cheyenne defeats Devils Lake. That game being played up in Devils Lake. We will hopefully see West Fargo Cheyenne coming up here in a doubleheader against Fargo North. That game is tentatively scheduled for April 23rd, which is this upcoming Tuesday. 1 week from today, actually. Battle for the ball at midfield there, and that will be the horn. Your final score in the junior varsity game, Fargo Davies Eagles 2, the Fargo South Bruins 0. The varsity game set for a 7 p.m. kick, and it's about 6:33 right now, so we'll go off air for about 20-25 minutes and be back with the varsity game next here on the ND Sports Channel. Thanks so much for watching.
NorthDakotaScores.net is your top source for statewide scores for both boys and girls high school sporting events in the state of North Dakota. Football, soccer, basketball, hockey, wrestling, baseball, volleyball, softball. Get all the scores, every game, every night, every single sports season of the school year. You can count on NorthDakotaScores.net year after year to provide over 99% of the results for high school sporting events in North Dakota, all reported from trusted and reliable sources. Follow North Dakota Scores on Twitter, search @NDScores to get the same scores on your mobile device every night.